All right, so let's go to the what you're saying on trends. So I think let's get to the Minister of Education visiting stalled National Library headquarters. If we can get that video for us to see, if we don't have it. Okay, said Tunja Lausa. This project, you understand that is in perpetuity. You know, there are projects like this. They've always been there, back and forth. But maybe, can we get to hear what the minister is saying? Because so we understand this project has been there for a long time.
This is one of the many projects. So it's like these projects are like gods. You just pour oil on it in the budget. You just always oil it. You put it in the budget, something for it. If it's 1 billion.
No, in my village, you pour kai.
Exactly. So it works.
For those who don't know what kai is, I don't know how to.
So they're like some sort of deity. You have to always oil them. Nothing is really happening. They're not serving you whatsoever, but money is budgeted for it. We have to complete it. And
it never gets completed.
It never gets completed.
So we seek to know who the
contractor
model, right?
is. That's the model.
Who is the contractor of this project? How much have they received so far? And why has this project not been delivered? We see the minister
Since the
there.
Obasanjo administration, I hear. If that is the case, come on. By the way, there's a lot of this, but doesn't mean it is right. Come on.
No.
It isn't. How many stories? I can count about 8 stories, and you wonder why education is not getting attention.
And it looks really nice. But maybe we'll get to the next talking point. That has to do with Lagos setting the speed limit for designated highways, I think. Okay, you know, we've had that one on Lagos. No, the third mainland bridge is 80 kilometers per hour. But this is for designated highways. I'm not sure the highways, by the way. But at least I know Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Sorry, not Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, the third mainland bridge. Ayodele says, the speed limit on a 4-lane road like Third Mainland Bridge should be a minimum of 100 kilometers per hour. Who are these people in authority?
I noticed, so one of the few times I've driven this year, at least on Third Mainland Bridge, I had to consciously tell myself,
yeah, 80. I do that, because that road is sweet.
80. 80. It's very tough because it's the Third Mainland Bridge, and you just want to, especially if you are doing at night, you just want to get off the Third Mainland Bridge, but you are limited to 80, so you are just very patient. It's very tough, and I understand what this user is saying. So it's always good to understand the thinking behind it. All right, the government is obviously trying to limit accidents, but is this empirical enough? Have you done research? The people who have had accidents, what speed limits were they? Fine, it's hard to find out these things, but I just want to say, there should be some sort of data, not just make those decisions. So if you say 80, why? If we're going to 100, why? What is the safest limit? I think that's the question. And this user, Person Papa, let me say that in pidgin.
Person Papa,
thank you, says they should enforce fine collection no matter where you live in the country. I know about a defaulter. Now, this is the heart of the matter, guys. I know about a defaulter who got a fine while visiting Lagos, but left for Rivers, and the fine was never retrieved. Collection should be strict and increase or increase over time. So what people do is they don't even take Lagos plate numbers, right? Because, you know, once the camera captures, if you're in Lagos, if you go to renew, you have to pay if your plate number is Lagos. But if it's not Lagos, if it's Ogun, Oyo, it's not Ogun, Oyo doesn't have anything like that, so you don't have to pay. So that's one thing that people do to bypass.
And, you know, this goes to reinforce the point that, you know, regulation of, driving and ensuring safety on our roads should be automated such that we can better ensure consequence management, for defaulters of our expressways, and indeed for every other offense, because we don't have enough capacity. And in fact, the approaches that have been deployed to managing these situations have not been effective enough. So we can keep making rules on the surface, but if there are no systems to ensure better consequence management, we'll just keep having these conversations. So what's the next person saying this morning? Ozorife, I believe, says that this is a good one. I hope they install a well-visible speed sign at all the appropriate distances for proper awareness, and also inform the police and other task forces that drivers can unintentionally go a few numbers above each limit, but not with more than 10 kilometers per hour.
All right, Senator Henry, that's that's your name, actually. This is a wonderful development. This will reduce the high rate of accidents on the road.
There you go. I think that's the goal for everybody. So we'll keep our eyes on that one. But let's head over to Kano. That's northwest Nigeria. So towards the end of the Ramadan fast, there's always the usual Eid al-Fitr durbar. But we understand that the 15th Emir of Kano, Alhaji Aminu Bayero, has cancelled or announced the cancellation of that celebration, the durbar, due to security concerns in the state. So you understand, the two emirs had announced or are making plans for durbars, separate durbars, and you know what that means. That is obviously, or those are ingredients for chaos. So he has cancelled his own version, and you see this user, Ibrahim Sani, saying it's a setback to our customs and traditions, which will also affect the spirit of Salah celebrations across the state and the history of Kano's traditional incentive. So I don't know if the other side will be welcoming you, if you're open to attending, or if that has been cancelled as well. But
there goes our democracy again, Coyote. So Dr. Prayerman says, why do you want to cancel the durbar when security is part of the scoreboard of this government's accomplishments? Hope the cancellation doesn't have anything to do with political annoyances meted to the north, particularly that issue of tax reform and the dominance of Southwest appointments, I believe you mean to say. Well, it indeed has a lot to do with political annoyances, the ones that were behind the scenes that saw the emergence of two emirs in the first place. So remote or immediate consequences that we are now seeing is just part of the big story. So we must ask our politicians to better by us. Two emirs in Kano State, and what we're telling you about this morning is certainly not the best.